Welcome. So glad you're here with me today. My name is Anna, and this is part 3 of our posture series, and we're going to be talking all about the neck. Now, it's so common to see this forward head positioning for so many people from, now that we just spend so much time on computers and really even more so looking at phones. So most people have some degree of this forward head. And when the head comes forward, these muscles in the front of the neck tend to get pretty weak. And these muscles in the back of the neck can tend to be pretty cranky, as maybe you know. So we are going to spend a lot of time learning how to get the head back, right? So if you really think about like taking your throat, taking your face back in space, and then lengthening up from the base of your skull. And maybe even when you do that, you're gonna feel like this difference all the way down. It's like, you're like locked in, right? So working with how do we get this neutral neck and how do we keep it? And especially we wanna have that as we start to come into movement. Because if we're coming into a movement practice like this, we're then loading these muscles and we're just reinforcing this movement pattern of the neck. So let's get started. I will be using a block today. You are welcome to use a block or a stack of books or nothing at all if you don't have anything handy. So let's start out in a seated position. I'm going to go ahead and sit up on a block, and you can just find any seated position that works for you. And then let's just start here by taking your fingers right kind of underneath of the jaw here and kind of underneath the ear. And you can let your head come forward a little bit, and it might already be there. But then think about with your fingers, it's like you can take that and almost push it back. And so you feel like right at the base of your skull, like that is lifting up, right? And so that we're getting the ears directly over the shoulders. And just take a moment and sit with that and just notice how it feels already. And then we'll keep that kind of more neutral positioning of your neck, and then let your right ear come down to your right shoulder. And you can have the right fingers maybe on the floor there. And you can stay right there or take your left arm and reach it straight out to the side. And you're just reaching through those left fingers, and the right ear is just softening toward the shoulder. And then just start to take some deep, easy breaths in and out through your nose. And if you like, you can turn your head to gaze down at your right fingers, and your chin is still just lightly drawing in or not jutting it forward there. And then nice and easy, you're going to take your right hand to the right side of your face and just give your head a little lift. And then same thing, second side. So left ear comes to your left shoulder. Left fingers can come down. And then maybe the right arm reaches out to the right, and then you're reaching through your fingers. You can always scale any of this back if you need to. And then maybe just turn your gaze to look down at your left fingers, keeping the chin drawing in. And then we're just going to use the left hand on the left side of the face. You can turn your head forward again, and then just lift your head back up. So go ahead and come down onto your back. And let's start with your feet on the floor. So we're prepping for bridge. You can have your hands on your thighs there, and you're just kind of pushing them forward, like giving yourself a little traction, lengthening your tailbone forward and then drawing your lower belly toward your sacrum. And then using your glutes to lift up into a low bridge there. And then just take a moment and check in with your neck. Right, and notice if already it's just kind of gripping and clenching, and just see if you can settle into your breath. Relax your shoulders, soften your neck. So much of this work of retraining the neck is really starting to get your other core muscles strong, your abdominals, your glutes, so that they can really do the work of supporting you. I see it really often in classes that I teach, where it's like people's necks just do so much work, and it's like you'll literally see someone's neck like holding them up. So we want to retrain the core and get it really strong and doing what it's supposed to, so that the neck can relax a little bit and do the work of holding up your brain. Let's go ahead and stretch out your wrist there. And switching sides. And then go ahead and lower your arms, and then just segmentally we'll lower one vertebra at a time. Nice. Let's bring your hands behind your head, cup your skull with interlaced fingers. And then with your hands there, you can actually traction a little bit. So maybe even like with the thumbs right at the base of the skull, just kind of lengthen that back and just feel some length at the back of the neck. It might feel really nice if you're used to kind of jutting the chin and having that space shortened at the back of your neck there. So let's take an inhale breath. And then exhale, lift up off your shoulder blades. Now, without jutting the chin forward, lean your head back into your hands a little bit. Your chin is in, and then look down at your belly, right? And we're just like reconnecting here, hugging in and drawing down. So trying to do the work of the core without getting the neck overly involved. And then inhale to lower back down. Exhale, lift up off the shoulder blades. Lean your head back into your hands a little bit, right? Your neck's gonna be working, but you don't want it to be like gripping. And then we're hugging all of the muscles of the abdominals in towards center. Inhale to lower back down. Exhale, lift up off the shoulders. Staying up off the shoulder blades, lean your head back a little bit, and then make your abdominals work a little bit harder. And then turn just an inch to the right. Come back through center, inhale to lower. Exhale, come up off the shoulder blades. Chin is in, lean your head back into your hands a little bit, but without lowering onto the shoulder blades. Turn slightly to the left. And then back through center, inhale, lower. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, lift up. Look down at your belly, solo what you wanted to do. Turn a little bit to the right. And back through center, inhale, lower. Last time. Exhale, lift up. Turn a little bit to the left, gazing at your belly, hugging it in. And back through center, inhale, release. So go ahead, you can roll over to your side. We're gonna come up into a tabletop. I'm gonna use a blanket for some padding under my knees. You are welcome to grab a blanket or a pillow if you'd like to do the same there. And then let's start by getting the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees, and then lift your throat up. Right, so I see this all the time, people kind of bringing their chin forward. That is just reinforcing really a lot of this forward head positioning. We want to bring the chin down, the back of the neck is lengthened, and then we lift the whole face up toward the ceiling. And then you can have your hand just right on your lower belly, right in between your pelvic points, and kind of draw that up a little bit. Nice. And then let's bring your right hand behind your head. So we're just giving a little bit of reinforcement there. Lift up into your hand without jutting your chin forward. And then go ahead and take that right hand back down. Same thing on the left. So left hand comes behind your head. Lift your face up into it, and notice if your pelvis wants to tip forward here. Right, lift up through the front body. A lot of work. And then bring that left hand back down to the floor. We're going to tuck your toes under here. And coming into downward facing dog, I'm going to do it with my hands on blocks. You're welcome to do it with your hands on the floor. And then the toes tucked, we're going to hike the hip creases up toward the ceiling. Knees can be bent. You can be on your toes. And then holding those ribs up. Now let your head relax there. And then maybe just start to move it around a little bit. All right, so we're just doing these little check-ins. And just seeing, does my neck feel really rigid and like it's doing too much work? Right, so when you first start kind of retraining your posture, that's really what it's about. It's just repetition and checking in often throughout the day. See if you can push the hands into the blocks or into the floor. Shoulder blades lift up a little bit, but your neck stays relaxed. Nice. And we're going to step your right foot forward. You can use a hand there to get that foot forward, and then lower down to your left knee. So we're going to bring your left hand behind your head and your right hand to your sacrum. So if you've done the other two classes in this series, you're going to be familiar with this by now, but we're drawing the lower belly toward that bottom hand, and then your whole face moves toward the back, or the top hand. And then this left glute is wrapping down, and you really want to feel that left glute working. So we're in this half kneeling position. All right, so you are welcome to stay right here. If you want to take it up a level, you can lift that back knee. Right, and now it's going to be a little bit harder to maintain this neutral because we don't have the feedback of that knee on the floor. So keep that back knee a little bit bent. The glute is on, and we are drawing the face back into that left hand. Take one more breath right there. And then we're going to spin that left heel down. Front toes are facing forward. You can bring your arms out for a warrior two. Good. We're going to take an inhale, reach that right arm up and over, and just let your left ear soften toward the shoulder. And then exhale, side angle, right forearm to your right thigh. Left arm can reach overhead. And now let the right ear soften toward the right shoulder. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, side angle. Now windmill your hands down to the floor and step your right foot back for a tabletop. Okay. In that tabletop, same setup here. We're lifting the face up toward the ceiling there. Chin is not jutting forward. You're really going to see it a lot. If you jut your chin forward, it kind of allows and invites the ribs and the pelvis to kind of like so we're holding the head up, chin is down, tailbone is lengthening. Now keep this feeling. This might already feel like a lot. So you can stay here or try stepping the right foot back without changing anything. Maybe step the left foot back. Tailbone is down, throat is lifted. Right knee down, left knee down, and then maybe sit back for a little child's pose. Whew. And we'll come back up through tabletop there. We're gonna lift into downward facing dog again, blocks or not. So toes are tucked. We're gonna pike the hip creases straight up toward the ceiling. Knees can be bent, can be lifted up off the heels. I actually encourage that. And then relax your neck as you push into your hands. And this time we'll step the left foot forward. You can always take your time, use your hand to help you get there. Lower the back knee. We're in this half kneeling position, so the hip is directly over the knee. Now bring your right hand to the back of your head, left hand to your sacrum. Draw the front body into that left hand, and then draw your face back in space into your right hand. You're welcome to stay right here or try lifting up. And we're keeping that same position, we're just elevating it. The back knee is bent a little bit, tailbone is down, moving the head back. And just noticing how even checking in with what the neck is doing changes everything else. And then let's spin that right heel down. Arms come forward and back, warrior two. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Let your right ear soften toward your shoulder. Exhale, side angle, left forearm to thigh, right arm reaches overhead. Let the left ear soften toward the left shoulder. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, side angle. Right, just let your neck go. I know a lot of times we like to look up at the ceiling there, right? And sometimes that can just cause a lot of tension, a lot of tightness in the neck, so just let it go. And then we'll bring both hands down to the floor, tabletop. Now set up that tabletop, shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. Throat is lifting up, back of the neck is long. We are pulling those front hip points together. Feel the work in your abdominals. Maybe just hold it there, right? And just re-educate that posture here. Maybe the left foot goes back. Tailbone lengthens down. Maybe the right foot steps back. And we're maintaining that posture in the plank. Here we are. Left foot comes down, or left knee comes down, right knee comes down. And then let's come around onto your back. Now, if you have a block, go ahead and grab it there. And you can take the block, maybe like on this first, or this second setting right here, and you're gonna take the base of your skull right on this ridge of the block. So the bottom ridge of the block, this comes right into the base of the skull. And you'll feel this line of like a ropey muscle there. So these are the suboccipital muscles. And for a lot of people, they tend to be tight, especially if your head is coming forward of center. And so don't necessarily try to dig in and make it deeper, but just relax your head there and just let it be supported by the block. And then you can roll a little bit from side to side. And you can stay anywhere that feels like maybe it needs a little extra attention. And then as we come into Shavasana, if you are really digging your neck on the block, you're welcome to stay there, or maybe just bring your head down off the block. And just find a comfortable position for this last minute or so. And just allowing yourself to welcome just this process of inquiry, of noticing the way that you hold your neck, and just noticing how it affects how you feel in your body, your mood, your energy. And just allowing this to be something that you can come back to time and time and time again throughout the day. And so that it's not just something you do once, but it's just setting out on this journey of noticing, of bringing awareness, so that we can begin to create habits that will provide sustainability and longevity. As you're ready, you can open your eyes and just make some small movements in your fingers and your toes. And as you're ready, just meet up in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And just right away there, notice even a difference in how you're holding your neck and your spine. And just take a moment to imprint that feeling and experience in your brain so you can keep revisiting it. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I will see you for part 4, where we are putting all of this together. Thank you.